First, we just got to get this crash out of the way. Oh, my God. So close. So heal up, Travis. Man, I hate to see it. Hoping you have a speedy recovery and looking forward to getting back out there with you, buddy. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're talking Cat's Hill today. And with me is the crit banger himself, teammate Eamon. Welcome to the channel, buddy.
Right on, Jeff. Thanks for having me on, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. We had a work cut out for us. We're going to dive right into some footage, talk about the competition, and this crazy course, which has like a 25% hill. You ready for it?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, but first, a quick shout out to the Couch to Crit Masterclass. Look, I made the Masterclass with this one goal in mind, and that is to shortcut your journey to bike racing success. And you don't have to spend the 10 years of trial and error like I did, but you don't have to just take my word for it. Let's look at what Masterclass alumni Lucas was capable of in just his first year following my training plans. He went from a 2.4 watt per kilogram FTP all the way up to a 4.16, almost double, which is crazy. But we all know there's more to bike racing success than just being fit, right? Which is why a big part of my course is all about fueling properly, choosing the right equipment, cornering faster, being efficient. The list goes on, basically positioning yourself to win, which is exactly what Lucas and others have done within their first year of signing up for the course. So if you want to check out the Masterclass course, we have different payment options, plus scholarships are available, because the last thing I want is money to stand in the way of your success. So check the link in the description. I hope to meet you guys in the next Zoom Q&A session. Now back to the video. Okay, so Eamon, how do we win this race? I guess a good start is we brought like 7 riders out, right? Is that how many we had? I think it was 7 or 8 of us on Team Mike's Bikes.
Yeah, I think we had 8 or 9 guys. I mean, at Mike's Bikes, we have, I think, 13 or 14 guys on the squad. So when we come to a bigger race like this, we set it per capita just to have legitimacy. I think I don't think it's wise to bring 14 guys, and I don't think the Peloton appreciate 14 guys.
And we weren't the only one with like eight riders. I think we ended up with 8. Volet was obviously strong competition. Probably the biggest competition was Volet. We had, God, who else? Tyler Williams, probably the biggest threat. Teammate Ryan, who is no longer teammate Ryan, is now on Volet. Forgot to mention that. He's won this race the last 2 years in a row. So the competition is robust. And we had our work cut out for us, huh?
Right. I mean, we also, we didn't mention Tobin Ortenblad. He was just coming off a big gravel chunk and a big training block down in Tucson, so he was flying. You can't ever count him out. He did the whole race time trial last year and got caught on the last lap. So, yeah, there was a lot of quality riders in the field this week.
Yeah, and we don't. I think it's tough for us because, I mean, you're a fantastic sprinter, Eamon, but you're also what, 185 pounds or something?
Yeah, on a good day when I'm feeling lean and light, I'm 85 kilos, 84 kilo. That's 185, 189 between that 4-pound variance. So I'm a sprinter, but even almost 3,000 feet of 2,000 feet of elevation in that hour with a 25% climb. That power profile, force profile, it's not really too cohesive. So
Right.
Guys like Tyler, guys like Ryan, who are gonna be 15 to 10 pounds lighter, over that duration of an hour, that weight to strength is really going to matter when it comes down to having that final last little push in the last couple hundred meters.
100%. Yeah, and don't just take our word for it. I mean, we looked at your data, right? You normalized 417 watts for this 60-minute long race, and we look at somebody like Ryan, who is not like a tiny light little climber, but he's lighter than you. He only had to do 382 watts. Only had to do normalized 382 for an hour. Still a lot.
But 40 watts is 40 watts,
Right.
If you wheel and you're eating your handlebars, if you could ride 40 watts less, for sure you're going to pick the 40 watts less.
Yeah. So with that being said, we knew it might be a challenge for you to unload the 1,600 watts or whatever you're capable of at the end of this race. We needed to soften up the competition. How do we do that? Well, we have 8 riders. So what we wanted to do was really force Volet to burn up their guys. Ideally, Ryan. I mean, Ryan, we want to put the pressure on Ryan and his teammates. And then, of course, guys like Tyler, guys like Tobin, all these other riders that are in this race that are major competition. We want to make sure that we soften them up and give you the easiest ride possible to the end. Not to mention, all of our eggs aren't in that basket of like Eamon for the sprint, Eamon for the sprint. Like you can see me, I'm following Tyler right here. I'm following Tyler, who is following our teammate Jack. And this is a great situation because we now have another card to play because, you know, especially with teammate Jack, like I'm fine rolling this. So, you know, I get off the front with Tyler. Jack takes a pole. Tyler kind of takes a soft one because he's smart. He wasn't born yesterday, but I continue to roll it here. We get caught shortly after, but the idea is we have multiple cards to play in this race. And all the while, we go back to your footage, and you're getting a free ride the whole time. That's the beauty of teamwork. But anyway, we have a lot of examples we could show you of just how to execute that, but that's really the gist of it. What do you say, Eamon? We just kind of skip forward to the end of this race and see how the final few laps play out.
But yeah, that sounds good. Let's dissect it.
All right, Eamon, this is your footage, your camera. You're right near the front. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so we're coming in now with a handful of laps to go. I know I need to be on Ryan's wheel. As you can see, Big Timmy sending another super intense attack like he has been all over this race. Just continuing to force the pace to stay high. You know, coming into a race like this, you don't want to give guys that could have the upper hand a free ride, so to speak. You want to keep them under pressure as well. You know, I've had a lot of help from the team being able to keep my powder dry throughout this race. So sitting third wheel.
And look who's chasing. Volet's chasing. This is like the dream situation.
Exactly. You know, it's like we said, putting those other big names under pressure so that we could sit back and take advantage. I really found that I took that outside line well to carry my speed. Bigger guy, I need to squeeze every ounce of positivity out of a 25% hill. I get to the top and Timmy's still going. I slot back in. I allow, you know, 7+ riders. Matthias kind of slots in. I'm stoked on that, so he can just, you know, create space with teammates. That's also a really big thing in the final. If you could have teammates around you to create space and also this set a presence and a dominance factor, just to let people know that you're not going to be pushed around because there's more than one of you. See, Ryan's sitting up there kind of looking around, seeing who's still there, going into, I think now 2 to go. Tyler's there. So everybody is really just there and trying to play the waiting game, but also the anticipation game, because in a course that is so demanding, that has been so hard, people can send those 1-lap flyers, those 2-lap flyers, and get away if you're not attentive. So we're
Right
here coming into now about 3,000 meters to go. It's strung out. It's fast. Yeah, we're almost going 30 miles an hour. It's a headwind also, you have to remember. I'm pretty on the rivet. I'm not gonna lie.
I was just about to say, man, this was the fastest edition of Cats in a long time. In fact, we set the course record. We'll talk more about that later, but we set the course record for the 1-lap KOM at Cats. So this was a particularly difficult edition of Cats. And as we're approaching the bottom of this climb here, we're going to make a left-hand turn and hit that climb one more time. You mentioned something earlier that I want to talk about a little bit more too, is that outside line and carrying speed. Somebody asked me, Cat 5 racer, new racer, like, how do you deal with a crit with a hill in it? They asked me this in the Masterclass, one of the Masterclass live streams that we do. And the biggest thing, which you just demonstrated, is you have to carry speed into the bottom of the hill. That is the most important thing, because what you just showed, I mean, you still did 1,000 watts, but let's not forget your 185 pounds. I saw other riders about your weight doing 1,300, 1,500 on this climb, and they weren't passing people like you were just doing. And this is completely 100% a result of not carrying speed into the bottom of the climb. Riders are taking funky lines, scrubbing speed. So it's all about slow is smooth, smooth is fast, finding those efficiencies on the course.
Right. Exactly. So I think, you know, just trying to find all the efficiency all over the course. You know, that's even like letting gaps open on the downhill and carrying exit speed into the home stretch. In past laps is trying to conserve. You know, it's all about conservation for those final last moments to make the difference.
Yeah, so you're sitting second wheel here, and obviously Volet rider in front of you. I think this is Miles. He's going to be setting tempo, not for himself, but for his teammate Ryan, who, if we had a rear camera, we would know that Ryan's behind you. In fact, I think let's just peep over to my camera for a second. We'll just show the order, because it's Miles on the front, it's you, and then I believe that it's Tyler and Ryan. So it's all the guys that we were worried about are up here in the mix. And I'm trying desperately to get to your wheel, but man, it's just so fast. So this is 1 lap to go, right? This is it. I think this is 1 lap to go. Yeah, this is 1 lap to go.
Only 1 lap to go. So we have a huge attack by Alto Velo, who's been riding very strong this year.
They did such a
Gavin,
good job.
Gavin, who was on the team last year, is now on a Volo, is sitting third wheel. Now I'm fourth wheel, and I am I'm kind of up to my eyeballs in lactic right now. But I know the team has put everything into this situation right now for me to capitalize. So it's time to go to work, regardless of how I'm feeling. Um, I take that wide line again. We all fan out, and I'm still trying to just be super patient because last year I went at the bottom of the climb and totally got gassed through the park, the two top right-handers at the park. Um, what's that team called? Red Truck?
Red Peloton. That's Blake. Man, he was so impressive too. He went early, right?
Super early, which is an insane move. He's been sprinting really well this year. So this is where we said I was going to jump through the park section as I come over the top of Ryan, and I totally commit to my effort now to try to win this race. Um, there's a bit of wet precipitation on the ground right there in the gutter. I get through safe. I look back and I see Ryan on my wheel, and I'm over the line right now. I'm trying to win, doing everything I possibly can physiologically. And Ryan just has that extra bit of gear, as you could tell right here through the outside gutter. Gavin comes underneath me, and I think to myself, nope, not fourth place again this year. There's nothing I can do other than stomp on the pedals again and try to come around and commit to my sprint. I just ran out of road catching Blake again. He got second. I placed third. Ryan wins for the third year in a row.
That's such a good course for Ryan, and he just like congrats to Volay for like I feel like we did a good job to put the pressure on, and they still came out with the W. But yeah, clearly we wanted the win. This is the Mike's Bikes class Cats Hill Classic, but we're stoked at the podium result, especially given the circumstances. We don't have like that lighter sprinter who's going well this year. Kind of wish that I was going a little bit better. But speaking of me, let's pop over and kind of show you my perspective because I kind of want to show you like what my last lap or two looks like. All right, so this is my perspective. Couple laps before, just 2 kilometers left in this race. We're going up the hill for the second to last time, and I'm like, oh, I'm so out of position. I'd burnt a lot of matches throughout this race, trying my best for kind of a reduced field and obviously just to support your effort at or towards the front, Eamon, so you could have, like you said, keep your powder dry, keep an easy ride. But I find myself right where I want to be at this position. I'm behind Ryan, who's behind Tyler, who's behind you, right? And I'm going to fight with Tobin on the left, which is funny because Tobin and I have had this funny thing the last handful of races we've been in together, where at this critical moment in the race, we always find each other shoulder to shoulder. And we're going to have just a funny exchange where I kind of lean on him, he kind of leans on me, and we both want to be in this position at this exact moment. And I see you checking back. You're looking pretty casual up there, Eamon. You guys remember, you just saw this footage from Eamon's perspective, but you're going to see how much difference, 2 or 3 bike lengths make at the last lap and a half of the Cats Hill Classic. So I end up giving this wheel up to Tobin, and I'm thinking to myself, we still have a little bit of time left. I can still make my way up to Eamon, give him maybe one final pull before the end of this race. Little do I know, as we're coming through the start-finish line here, like I said earlier, we are setting the course record. This has been going on for, well, it's been going on longer than Strava's been around.
55 years.
55 years. Strava's not been around for 55 years, but this is the fastest lap ever recorded on Strava for the Cats Hill Classic, which is pretty impressive. It's a testament to how fast we were going. And yeah, shout out again to Alto Velo for being so strong on the front. Like, they really started things off here on the last lap. And you can see now I've lost a couple more wheels on the left, in part because of the Alto Velo duo, but also just because I shouldn't be giving up these wheels like I am on the left here. So I'm going to come up this hill. I'm thinking to myself, okay, Eamon's one wheel in front of me. There you are right there, big guy. And I'm going to come up. I'm going to give you one more rip. But we literally come into this hill so freaking hard. Like, I am doing 1,100, 1,200 watts right up to the top of this hill, and I'm like, there's no more coal left I can pour on the fire. Like, this is it. And you can tell everyone else is like out in the wind. Like, nobody's really holding a draft for a moment. Everyone just had their bell rung coming up that hill for the last time. Shout out Maddie too. Oh my God, he won the collegiate race earlier on. This is another new sign for Team Mike's Bikes. He's gonna give it one more pull here, and guess who it is? Tobin, one more time. I told you, man. Him and I, it's been so funny lately. We've just seen each other at this moment in the race, like I said. But yeah, here we are, 300 and change, 320 meters to go, and I'm like seeing totally cross-eyed at this point. And unfortunately, it was so fast that I was unable to get up there and give you any additional support on the last lap. But you said it perfectly earlier, Eamon. Like, that wasn't what we were doing today. Our goal was to soften the competition, and you can't really execute a lead out if your team goal is to soften the competition. It's like pick one, right? So I pass a couple more riders here. I think I end up 8th, which is funny because I'm carrying more speed than everybody, which is like kind of proof that, hey, it's not about your speed so much as it is your position in the sprint in the Criterium. But that was my perspective. I did a lot of talking. Eamon, I appreciate having you on, man. We're gonna have a lot more of these guys, so be sure to get subscribed and check out Eamon's socials. I'll link them down in the description, and we'll chat with you guys in the next one.
Sick. Thank you for having me on, Jeff. Look forward to doing Santa Cruz with you.
Let's do it.